Hello, everybody. My name is Tyler, and welcome back to the podcast. I am finally taking the time to actually record an episode for the podcast, the WT podcast on Spotify and YouTube. I haven't done it in a while just because I've been really busy, and I've been trying to honestly figure out what to do with my content. Like, I do have a lot of fun just making the content, just like talking, and then distributing that onto YouTube. And then, however, I was originally a gaming channel, so I'm trying to figure out when to stream and where to stream because I don't often have time to sit down like this and just be on the camera because of life. And in the next 2 weeks, I'm flying to Texas for a cousin's wedding, so that's gonna be a fun thing. I've mostly been able to stream on the weekends only, or play games on the weekends. So that's what happens for the moment. That's the quick recap of what's been going on, why I've been doing more TikToks and shorts than I have been doing content like actual videos. And that's honestly because really just time. I have had more time to do short skits through TikTok and shorts, and so that I practice voice acting, and so that you guys know, hey, I'm still alive. So it's kind of a fun and whole dynamic, but I've been doing okay. I think I've been doing okay, and I hope you guys have loved it. There are some new people on the channel. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for giving me a chance. And we're going to go into this list of the 27 pettiest hills people are willing to die on, and this was done by a BuzzFeed staff. So there's a lot of things I know. Earlier, in a long time ago on the channel, I've done a reaction to the hills people die on from the Distractable podcast by Markiplier, Lord Wade, and My Scrims. So I figured, what's another? I liked talking about hills people die on because for some reason it's a fun conversation. So I figured out I'd try to go through the list of 27 and see where this goes. From BuzzFeed, this was posted in May a couple years ago. So that'll be fun to figure this out. Recently, a Twitter authors and blogger asked his followers to share. Chuck Wendig asked to share their pettiest opinions. So the hill to die on. Okay, let's see what they chose to die on, apparently. So the number one hill, the first hill that they died on, was the appearance of the hair that grows on some people. Beards are grotesque and should not be tolerated. That is atrocious. I believe if you like the way you look, who the fuck cares? Don't fucking care if like you have this beard. If you like it, feel free to flaunt it, wear it, clean it up, and just make yourself feel pretty, because beards can look good. I don't like mine. For example, this right here, this peach fuzz does not grow any thicker than it does. If I let it grow out anymore, I do look like my dad. If you put a age up filter on my face to make me older, I look like my dad. So my dad's comfortable with the mustache. I'm not. And so some people like the look of feeling young. Some people like the age that the beard puts on them, or the mustache. I cannot wear this because I grew up in the early 2000s and 2010s to where pedo bear was a thing. And if you know what pedo bear is, you also know that it's the stereotype of like that peach fuzz on a dude's face, and he's ugly, and he's known as the pedophile look, the generic pedo look. I don't like that. I'm upset by that, but also I can't help it. I also can't help it because like this is how I grow my hair, and my Vietnamese bloodline doesn't let me grow anything thicker. If I was raised in an environment that was naturally cold, maybe it grows a little fuller for the sake of survival. That's my understanding. Hair grows and body do things based on the need to survive. So if I lived in like Detroit and it was cold more often than it is hot, I would have a thicker mustache. But no, we lived in the Northwest, and it couldn't decide on if it was going to be hot or cold. So my mustache decided to be this way. So that's kind of funny. I'm sorry that you feel like beards are grotesque, because if they feel like they look good on it, then just who cares? Don't. Why do you have to care about somebody's looks? That's a hot. They stand by their guns. Okay. The grammatical choice used to list things. Okay. I can definitely see how grammar is definitely a pet peeve. Like, definitely, it's concerning on how people have word choices, and depending on your word choice, you may or may not sound smart or sound dumb. I tend to replace words by accident, so I don't. I think I unconsciously replace words for things to make it funny, or because it's the way I processed it when I first thought about it. Kind of like when you hear knife tornado. A friend of mine understood that it was a blender. So some people have their own quirks that come from how they lived. The word choices some people's make is another choice from Chelsea Kane. Less versus fewer. It's easy. Fewer refers to something that is countable. Less refers to something that isn't countable. So like, okay, so less versus fewer. Like, I have less apples than you. I have less money than you. I have fewer money than you. I have fewer apples than you. Like, okay, sure, fine. But like, again, verbs and adjectives are playable. Like, for a moment, I didn't remember the word for like a baby harness, or for like a when you hold your baby in the front of your body and you carry them around. It's a harness, but I said baby strap on. I didn't remember the word harness, so that's possibly my fault. And that's on me. That's on me, because I didn't know better. So that's cool. That's fine. I am unfortunately illiterate. I'm illiterate, and I can barely talk sometimes. So the word choices that some people make is definitely a possible hill to like be peeved against. The depiction of crafting hobbies. The position of knitting is knitting needles in children's picture books. It's almost inevitable done wrong with the endless. Huh. Let me quickly pull this up for. Hold on, let me quickly figure this out. Let me do this. And let me do that. I'm trying to understand this, because they're saying the depiction of this craft hobby, the pointing of knitting needles. So if you're watching on YouTube, this is what you're gonna see. If you're listening on Spotify, I'm sorry, go to YouTube. But the way this guy is holding his knitting needles, I guess, is upsetting somebody. Sure. I can't say that I know have much knowledge about it. So there's the existence of a certain bird. Ostriches are just badly photoshopped owls. I can understand that almost, just because like I can. So you have an owl, right? You have an owl that's like really like it's a fluff ball with a small face, cuckoo, right? And then the ostrich is just like that, but an elongated neck into like a face of a bird, kind of like in Owl House. That cartoon Owl House? Which Owl House? The Owl House is an animated series with a extending owl out of the face of the door. So that's kind of a thing. It's a whole thing. But I can understand the whole aspects of it, like it's being a Photoshop bird. Let me see. Okay, that's a bad list. Yeah, but let's see. The original Terminators is James Cameron's best movies. I don't really have an opinion, because this This is just terrible. Hills. There's got to be another list because 40 of the smallest hills from Bored Panda. Hopefully, I don't uh, get get a virus from this. Oh, I completely agree with this one. Speakerphone is not meant for use in public. I completely agree with this because there's a coworker that for some reason doesn't understand the concept of like headphones, and so whenever I'm on break, it's so funny. He's attached to his phone like an umbilical cord to where he can't just get rid of it on his own because when he's leaving. So the whole situation with work is like when you go on your break, you put your jacket away on the chair or on the hook and you walk out of the lab, right? The moment his lab coat gets off, he is on his phone. He is on his phone as he's walking. He's using his phone as he's walking. He's in the bathroom. One hand is on the phone, the other hand on his junk. Just get off your phone. Just get off your phone. You don't need your phone in a video call or a video playing when your other hand is on your junk. Just put your phone down. You can take the phone call elsewhere or get an earbud. I would love to buy you $20 earbuds so that I can't listen to the stuff that you put in your phone. I don't need to hear you and your friend on a video call in the bathroom or when I'm taking a number two. I don't want you to do that. Can you just put away your phone or like you let me yeetus your phone because such a pet peeve. This is a guy that is allegedly in leadership but has the worst like example. He is just talking almost all the inconvenient times, and then he's doing a video call in the bathroom, in the break room, as he's walking, when he gets when he starts his break, even before he gets out of the lab for some reason. So you get off your phone. Your speaker device your speakerphone is not meant for public use. Just go in private. Go in your car. I don't care if you do it in your car. And I skipped over the first one. Someone's complaints for the first one on the Bored Panda was the new LED headlights should be banned. To be fair, I need LED for myself because my own headlight cover is dirty. So we've been having a hard time just cleaning in general. So that's definitely a thing we need to work on. And I just wish things could be a little different. You should, number 3 on this one, you should use your signals when turning or changing lanes. If you don't, you're lazy and the worst. I agree. People have to change. Well, I'm probably bad at this because I don't know if anyone else does this, but the only times I don't use my signals is when I'm turning into traffic. So like if I'm in the rightmost lane and I'm turning into traffic that's going in that direction, I don't think I need a signal to do that because I'm in the lane that's specifically for that lane turning. People aren't going to get confused if I'm in a turning only lane to do that. My pet peeve actually now is like if someone's getting off the ramp, I don't need to know for the next like several feet that you're still turning right on a exit right only lane. So there are times when you don't need it. There's times when you're changing from the left lane to the right lane so you don't actually cross 5 lanes over like in California. But if it's a common sense lane, you don't need your light. You don't need your blinker, I don't think. That's my hot take. Let me know down in the comments if I'm wrong in any of the bits I am spouting. This is number 4. Tall burgers completely nullify all the benefits of a burger and are abominations. You're wrong. I won't argue with this comment because tall burgers are like a challenge. They are great. They're a challenge, and they're just wonderful to consume and devour, and they're wonderful to have. Number 5, should be number one. Returning a shopping cart is not that hard. It is the least you can do when utilizing a service. It is, yeah, because honestly, like, I go to Fred Meyer's or I try to go to Albertsons, and for some reason, I want to get into a parking spot. Most and majoritively of the time, I often see people leave their shopping carts in the middle of a parking spot or the middle of a lane. And I just want to park. If you can't park your cart into a parking corral, into a cart corral that they provide for you, they provide for you in each of the parking lanes a corral to put those carts in. I don't think you deserve to get out of school quite yet. I don't think that you should get out of high school or college if you don't have the decency to put the cart back in the corral, or just take the extra 5 minutes of walking to go to the store, because maybe, like myself, I don't have enough cardio in my day. We live in a society where we are stationary almost all the time. My job has me stationary at the very most 8 hours a day if I didn't have to get out of my seat to do things. I'm in my seat like 8 hours a day. So that is something that's like, what the F? And so it's unfortunate where, like, you don't qualify as a legal adult if you can't just put your cart away appropriately. Come on, please, be decent. It's not that hard. You're just right there sometimes too. I mean, tax included in prices. That's whatever. Let me see. I mean, why does this keep coming up? Number 7, kids can be annoying. You're allowed to think someone kid is annoying. You don't have to tell the kids or their parent, but you can distance yourself if you want. You don't have to tolerate any kid if you don't want to. That's what I'm getting at. I mean, okay, I misread this article, and I am sorry. I thought it was gonna go negative, but I can understand, like, kids can be annoying. You're allowed to think they're annoying. The kid's annoying. You don't have to. You don't. Yeah. The point of this is that you could agree that kids can and will be annoying. They're annoying because they can't process their emotions. They can't just process their feelings quite yet. So they do things without the conscious awareness that, oh, okay, if I knock down the row of, like, cereals, somebody's gonna have to clean it up, and I wouldn't want my parents to do it. I wouldn't want me to do it, so I don't do it onto others. But again, like, the third sentence is, you don't have to tell their kids or parents. It draws that you as a person can identify that kids are annoying, but you can't just go over there and parent them saying, hey, you can't do that, or hey, take better control of your kid. You don't have to, like, parent the parent. You can just move on. You can just distance yourself from that family. You can distance yourself if you can't handle it. You don't have to tolerate them, but you can acknowledge them and respect that that is a thing. So you can either leave it alone or walk around it, because you don't have to get involved. It is a choice to make angry things to do and do things annoyingly. And that's in comparison to a different hill that we talked about when we reacted to Distractable, to where there was a guy that complained about dogs and pets. So don't have them. Don't have pets. If you don't want pets and you want kids, you're going to get a rude awakening. But the idea that you can tolerate, you don't have to tolerate them, but you can acknowledge and respect them, that's a highlight that this hot take is taking a stand for. That's really good. That is probably a very fun hill to die on as we end today's episode. I had no idea really on what this was getting into. I just figured I'd get back onto this because I really enjoyed doing this kind of conversation. So that was fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you liked it, please consider subscribing on YouTube. It's free. Follow. All my socials have been up in the corner, So follow me on the internet, and thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, my name's Tyler. I'm your friend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.